CX Sports presents coverage of high school gymnastics as Rogers and Champlin Park in a Northwest Suburban Conference meet. We are underway with Rogers on the bars. Katie Strand, a junior, their first competitor on the bars.
She actually is getting the whole meet started tonight, too. The vault hasn't quite been ready to go yet. So that always makes it a little bit more difficult when you know, not that there's a big crowd, but there's actually people and all eyes are on her. So she's doing a long hang kip to a flyaway, and she had the landing was really solid, and that's what we're going to be looking for tonight is those landings, that there's no steps or bobbles in those. It becomes so important when we get to this end of the season because teams can, meets can be decided by just a few tenths.
Cassidy Croct will be up next for the Royals. A pretty young team this year. They could score in the low, maybe mid-130s by year end. Champlin Park a little better on the season coming in. It's top 140 this season. And so the Rebels have been the top team so far in this conference this year. They'll face Maple Grove coming up in March in the meet that'll decide the conference championship as we watch Cassidy Croct here.
Cassidy doing a lot of really good kip work on the bars. We are going to be looking on the uneven bars for fluidity. You want to make sure one move flows right into the next, and you'll see that here. She does these long hang kips, cast right away, tuck, flyaway, dismount, and just the teeny tiniest of little hop there. Depending on how picky the judges would be, will they give her the stick? I don't know. But it's really important that on uneven bars, you have to change directions on the bars. You have to do work on the low bar as well as the high bar. When we get up into the more difficult routines, which we might see a little bit later, there are some release moves that add to the difficulty, and it can increase the score of the routine.
Score of 7.2 for Cassidy Croct. Here's Morgan Royst, another junior for the Royals.
You'll see right there she did a kip and then she did a switch kip. So she changed the direction, which is a requirement. And you can do that by doing that kip. These are rear uprises. Really nice job. Nice straight arms on that. Cast into a long hang kip. Really nice big cast into a tuck flyaway dismount. Again, there's just that little step on the landing.
Morgan's top score, her personal best, 7.35. We'll see how she scores here.
She almost, she could probably do that in the pike position or the layout position. She has so much height, she over-rotated that. That's where she had to take that little step backwards.
Next up, Hannah Sharber. She's a junior and a captain. Personal best, 7.35 this year. Didn't compete bars last season or at the beginning of this season due to an injury. This is only her third meet back at it on bars.
And depending on if you, this is a tough event if you have, say, like shoulder injury or arm or kind of in the upper body, because this takes so much upper body strength and abdominal strength as well. She's doing a wonderful job on this. Great form. Everything is flowing really well. She has that nice cast. Beautiful tuck, flyaway dismount. That's how you stick a landing. Really good. You'll see here that she just does a beautiful back kip circle, huge cast, and look at the height on the dismount. She was higher than the high bar, and she's able to just kind of spot that floor, make that landing with no steps.
Sophie Mankey will be up last for Rogers. Just a freshman, her personal best is 7.625. Score for Hannah Sharber is 7.5, so that's a personal best for her.
Starting kip, front hip circle, back hip circle into that squat on. There's that transition move, rear uprises. She'll get a nice big cast here, little bit of a pause there. 2 long hang kips, huge cast into a very nice flyaway dismount. Almost had that stuck landing. She just kind of opened up a little bit too soon. Her shoulders were forward, which caused her to take that little step forward. But a really nice routine.
Your coach mentioned to us that at 5'8" tall, you wouldn't necessarily peg her for being their top bar competitor, but she said her lines are spectacular. It's something you always talk about.
I do. When you know, as we're normally used to seeing little gymnasts that maybe 5'1", 5'2", but when you have a gymnast that's 5'7" or 5'8", the lines they create, it's beautiful to watch, especially on an event like bars. It is a lot harder to do gymnastics when you are taller, but if you can do it and make it look effortless, it's a work of art. It's really pretty.
Sophie score a 7.6. We'll take our first break. Champlin Park's varsity will be up next on the vaults. More Northwest Suburban Conference Gymnastics on CCX after this.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
John Jacobson, Debbie Rasmussen back at Champlin Park High School. We'll see the Rebels for the first time tonight competing on the vaults. The Kara McElmurray, Leanna Ung, Jordan Smith, Katie Johnson, Tashina Bayonko-Alase.
Looks like they allowed her to have one more warm-up vault before we actually see the... I can't tell if that was definitely a warm-up vault.
They've gone past their 3-minute warm-up time, Deb. We're still definitely in warm-up time.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. Let's see if they're... Nope, judges are still there, so they're still letting her do one more.
Yeah, Tashina will be up with another warm-up vault here. Maybe a preview of what's to come.
Yes. Well, it's been fun watching them warm up. They have really a lot of depth on this Champlin vaulting team. We have seen 2 Yurchenkos and a Sukahara, which are, some of the most difficult vaults that you'll be seeing in any competition at the high school level. They will always be famous for the perfect 10 that was scored. Was that last year or year before?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Cheney New got a perfect 10 in the high school state meet with a laid out Yurchenko. It was, there she is right there. Yep, it was amazing.
We'll talk about her a little more as the evening goes on, but a nice chat with her before tonight's meet. A student assistant coach this year, her senior year here at Champlin Park. Rebels are ready to go. Kara McElmurray up first.
Very nice. She starts out with a handspring full. A great body position. She had straight arms, straight legs. She had a great afterflight, nice block. Looked like her one hand kind of slid on top of that table, but maybe I was wrong. But here she is, just got lots of, oh, yep, you can kind of see, which is just the sign of a really seasoned gymnast that enjoys this vault because she didn't let it, shake her in any way. So nice start with that handspring full. In vaulting, the gymnasts get 2 vaults.
Her first scored an 8.45.
Second vault was just as good. She's had a little bit bigger step on that landing. One thing we're going to be looking for here is the afterflight. What is the distance the gymnast travels from the vaulting table? She's amazing. You'll see here, she does that vault, and she has great distance. She just had to take that big step forward, over-rotated it just a little bit, but her form was awesome.
And just a little bit better, 8.5 for vault 2 for Kara. And now Leanna Ong.
Waiting to get the go-ahead from the judges. She's up and ready. Another really nice handspring full. She had a little bit of a leg bend on that after flight, but what makes this vault so incredible is she has such a huge block that she doesn't start twisting till her arms are completely off that vault. And again, the distance from the vaulting table is great. You've got your pre-flight, you're in the middle where you're blocking off that, and then you have your after flight. And believe me, it goes so quickly, but these judges are so in tune. They're looking for straight arms, straight legs, good landing, any bending or piking in the hips or the legs.
Leanna's first vault, 8.45.
Beautiful second vault. She really held on to that landing. See here, she's so powerful. She gets a great pre-flight. She just lets that float down, and she didn't even move. She just turned and saluted the judge.
We had a few minutes to talk with John Winey, the Rebels head coach, before, and he was talking about the long pause for the pandemic, and it hit a lot of gymnasts harder than it did some other sports or some other athletes, and how some of those girls are still trying to round into peak form here with a month to go in the season.
You know, Champlin Park has it's such a great thing, but during the pandemic it wasn't. They work out at Twin City Twisters, which is just right up the road on 169. Well, when the pandemic hit, Twin City Twisters had to get their girls from their private team. They were at capacity, so his team didn't get to work out as often as a lot of the other schools.
Jordan Smith's first vault. The second vault for Leanna Ong was an 8.3 score. Let's look at Jordan's first vault again.
She has a really nice Sukahara. He did come in and touch. There will be a little bit of a deduction for that. But in the middle of the season that we've got going right now, better to be safe than sorry. So he helped, he kind of put his hands on the back of her to help her make sure that she wasn't, if she had enough height, she was going to get around safely. And that's a hard call as a coach, because you're trying to make sure that you don't get in there, but you definitely feel if you need to, just to give a little extra so no one's getting hurt.
First vault was an 8.45.
Again, another really, really nice vault. That one, she had a little bit more height coming off of the vaulting platform, but again, he had that little help on there. Let's see, here's that half on, back flip off. Just a teeny tiny bit of assistance. And I'm sure, you know, in the weeks to follow, they're going to be working on that at the gym, so when it comes down to sections, there'll be no problem. It's hard because they didn't get the extended time in the gym to do as many repetitions to strengthen and just feel the safety factor of it. So there's nothing wrong with during the season having a little bit of a spot there.
Jordan's second vault, an 8.3. Katie Johnson up next.
Katie had a little bit of a, every gymnast has a little bit of a ritual that they start with, and her feet must have been off just a tiny bit, so she didn't want to, you know, the run was just going to be off a little bit. She's doing a vault there called a Yurchenko, which basically is a round off onto the springboard, back handspring onto the vaulting platform, back flip off in the pike position. That's a lot to do in a 5-second vault.
Yes, right.
One of the reasons the vaulting table has changed from the long one that the boys do the pommel horse on was because of this particular vault. Everybody is doing this round off into it, and there was being so many injuries that they had to create a way to increase the difficulty but keep the safety of the gymnast, so they came up with the vaulting platform. I think it looks like a big tongue.
Right.
Kind of is weird.
Katie Johnson's first vault, 7.95. They did raise the platform a little bit here before her second vault. You see Coach Winey adjusting the mat too.
Yes.
Before the landing area.
And she had, she had a deduction for a little bit of assistance on that spot there, and then she also had a deduction for the fall. So she can normally, and she's only going to throw one vault.
Oh, yep, you're right. So now it's Tashina Bianco-Alase.
Beautiful vault. Oh, my stars. That had height, that had distance. She is a powerful vaulter. Beautiful vault. Here's that round off onto the springboard. Her pike, when she's blocking off that vault, she's probably about a foot over the coach's head.
Tashina's best vault last year. She was a finalist in vault last year at state, scoring a 9.55. Got a 9.35 for this vault here. Now here's Tashina's second vault.
Wow, there it was. That was beautiful. She had a nice duck landing. There was just a teeny tiny little bend in the leg there. I don't know if it's enough to take that deduction, but she is so powerful. Look at the height she gets on this. And she lifts that foot just ever so slightly. That was wonderful vault.
Great vault to finish up on for Champlin Park. It'll score Tashina 9.45. And that'll wrap up the Rebels' first rotation. Coming up next, the Rogers Royals on the vault. More gymnastics from Champlin Park after this. Rogers up on the vault. You'll get our scores for the first two rotations. Katie Strand, the first varsity competitor, the junior. We saw lead off on the bars.
She's doing a handspring full, which is a really good, strong lead-off vault for these teams. It doesn't have quite the high value as some of the Sukaharas and the Yurchenkos, but it's still really solid, and if done well, can get a pretty decent score.
And the coach said they have Katie in the first spot because she's solid and clean.
And consistency.
Yes.
And you'll find that in a lot of these events, that is what you want. You want that first gymnast is not going to always be your best gymnast, but they're probably going to be your most consistent, and that goes for all four events. You want to set that score. You want to build from those next four vaults that are coming up.
And her second vault was at 8.35. Maya Gearman is up next. She is just an 8th grader.
Really nice vault. She does kind of a half on, half off kind of vault, but what makes this vault so impressive is her form. Watch the arms, they're straight, the legs are together, perfectly pointed, and just a small step on that landing. Pretty gymnast to watch.
Her first vault scored an 8.5.
And again, a beautiful vault. She's got great distance on the backside of that vault, and she, is just going to want to work on having that landing be a little bit more solid. Just watch the toe point is so impressive. Legs are together. There's not that separation.
Second vault did score a little lower, 8.35. Another 8th grader, Izzy Webb, is up next. Both Maya and Izzy new to the team this year.
Another really strong vault. She does that half on, half off also. What we want to see here is that twist on. She does the almost half twist, beautiful block, and just a step forward on that landing.
8.35 on the first vault for Izzy.
Second vault was, again, another nice vault. She had a little bit more distance. I think it might score a little bit higher than that first one, but she just has that little step forward. You see here, great body position, good twisting. Just over-rotated that a little bit.
Scored an identical 8.35. Hannah Sharber is next. We saw her on the bars earlier, the junior. She'll do a handspring full here, her personal best for the season. For the Royals, capped as an 8.6.
Nice vault, great body position. She's got a super strong run, so that allows her to get height on that pre-flight. What I love about this is just the form. Everything is, legs are locked together. You don't see that often when you're doing these twisting vaults, because a lot of times you're twisting, you're loosening up in those hips. She doesn't do that. Everything is together, and the toe point again is beautiful. It's just a pretty vault to watch.
8.55 for her first vault.
Great distance on that after flight, a couple of little steps forward that'll have a few deductions, but the form on that vault is really nice. Again, just, throughout the rest of the season, which isn't that much more time left, when she hits that and sticks that landing, it's going to be awesome.
Second vault scored an 8.45. Finally, Cassidy Croft.
Another handspring full. She has so much power that she blocks off that horse, does that, or excuse me, the vaulting, we used to call it a horse, the vaulting horse. Now it's a vaulting platform. But you'll see here, she's super strong, great block, good distance, and again, just a little step forward on that landing.
8.75, it's already higher than her previous high for the season, and here's her second try.
There, that was picture perfect. That's what a landing is supposed to be. Solid, no steps, no bounce checks, just you hit the springboard, you do the block, you do your twist, and you float into that landing. Very nicely done. She had a little bit of a pike in her hip, so she's not gonna, get that huge score that she's probably capable of, but you don't get a landing better than that one.
8.65 for the second vault, so actually her first one scored just a little bit higher. We will take a break. We'll come back. The varsity bars for Champlin Park coming up next from Champlin Park High School.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Rogers Royals score on the ball. Very solid 34.15 as we come to Champlin Park, their second varsity rotation. And Lily Ong leading it off on the bars.
Doing some nice kip work. She does kips on the low bar. These are long hang kips to the high bar. Beautiful cast. And again, a nice flyaway dismount. The few things that we will try, that gymnasts are going to try to do on the uneven bars, is most importantly keep that routine flowing. And you'll see here, she barely has a little tiny stop on that cast. Does a nice high flyaway dismount. You want to do a change of direction. You can't work the same way, or there is a small deduction for that. You eventually want to have handstands and release moves, but those are things that will come as the gymnasts get stronger. And like he said, they kind of haven't had a whole lot of time yet to get ready for this.
Melina scored a 6.75, and now it's Bella Schneider.
Really nice rear uprises, nice cast to long hand kip, cast right away to her second one. Really, really nice flyaway dismount. She had to stop and take that extra cast before she went into that, but the dismount itself, you'll see here she casts, gets a nice big cast on that. Flyaway dismount, she just floats into that landing with the teeny tiniest of step. And should score pretty well. She doesn't have the release moves or the handstands, but what she does is beautiful form, and she keeps the routine flowing.
Leanna Ung will be up next. We saw Leanna earlier on the vault. So we await a score for Bella Schneider's routine. Scored a 7.1. And now here's Leanna.
Here's that change of direction that we talked about, which can add to the score of that routine. She does a beautiful switch kip. Here's her rear uprises into the second one, goes right into that back hip circle. Long hand kip. She has great form. I love the toe point into a pike flyaway dismount. Rock solid landing. You'll see this long hand kip, and then she has that big cast. Pike. Boom. Lands it. Nice job.
Jordan Smith will be up. Coach says smooth routine. It'll start out with a cast handstand, ends with a bonus high flyaway fold.
Watching her in warm-ups too, I mean, we see a lot of flyaways. We see a lot of double backs, which I believe we'll see one here tonight. But this is a full twisting layout flyaway, and it was gorgeous during warm-up. So I hope she's able to hit it during competition tonight.
Leanna Ung's score was 7.75.
Really nice handstand, and that's, what the judges look for there is that she hits that handstand in that beautiful position. Here's her. Oh my goodness, that was done so beautifully. She just almost had too much height, over-rotated it a tiny bit, where she had to take that little step, but this was a wonderful, wonderful routine. She does that big cast. Here's that flyaway. She does a full twist. She's spotting the landing, and she just almost over-rotates it. She could probably do another. She could turn that into a double twist. She has so much strength and power. Good job.
One gymnast we're not going to see for Champlin Park tonight, Emma Saxa. She's out this evening, a state finalist in the bars, just finished outside the top 10. But this next girl, Katie Johnson, is a girl that the coaches believe can compete with Emma by the end of the year, continuing to improve meet to meet, and has a chance to be a state quality gymnast. We'll see what Katie Johnson shows tonight, the sophomore.
Beautiful handstand, toe to that handstand. Great into that long hand kip. Again, beautiful form. She's going to do giants here that are wonderful. I believe she's going to do a double back. Oh my goodness, boy, you can't land that trick any better than that. It looks like she's got she's favoring the ankle a little bit. She's the gal that only did the one vault. This double back flyaway out of these giants, watch the height. She just sees the mat, floats down, not even a step. Really, really nice routine for her. She hit all of her handstands in that they want to make sure that you are fully on top of the bar, that you don't have any type of angle, that you hit that handstand and you are, is that 90 degrees? I'm terrible at math. They have to be right on top of the bar. Whatever she did it really well. No, it's really important when you are doing handstands that you hit that handstand position before you take it into the giant position, and she did a beautiful job at that.
Judges are taking a moment to tally the score here for Katie Johnson. And they're going to confer on exactly what it's going to be before we see a posting. First judges conference tonight.
Yes, and these usually happens when there is a bigger than 5/10 discrepancy in the scores, where one judge might have given a connection or a combination or something, and so they basically come together, look at each other's notes, and one will either raise the score or the other one will lower their score to try to get them within a closer range. And that's one of the reasons we have 2 judges on each event, just because this is a sport that you're still being personally judged, like in skating. Some judge might see something, another judge won't. You can see the coach here is kind of talking to her, and he's kind of motioning, like, did she hit those handstands? Did one say that and one not?
It may not be a judges conference at all. They posted scores of 8.3 and 8.3. 8.4. I think it's going to be an 8.35. This is just, she was just finishing out the card for all 4 of the apparatus. So no judges conference. It's a score of 8.35 for Katie Johnson, and that is how we will end the bars. We'll take a break and come back with more gymnastics here from Champlin Park High School. Rogers up on the floor exercise next.
I don't think we're free in this country. For 100 years, you saw Black people menaced and targeted and lynched and beaten and brutalized. I think we're burdened by this history. More people have to be willing to do that uncomfortable, inconvenient thing that justice requires for things to get better.
Truth can inspire change. Learn more at EJI.org.
There's our score. Each team has competed on both bars and vault. We go to the floor exercise next. Rogers up first in our next rotation.
I think it's really, really neat. You see the whole Rogers team that's over on the sidelines. The fact that we don't have fans screaming and cheering on, those teammates become your fans and your screamers and your cheering on. So I love the camaraderie of this. Make the best of a difficult situation.
Sophie Mankey is up first.
Beautiful jumps and leaps. She adds a full twist to those. But what makes them so impressive, she's in a full split. And again, being that she's taller, it's gorgeous when she hits those leaps and jumps. Showing some of her personality with some original choreography. Handspring walkout. That was super cute. You can tell she's enjoying floor, having a good time out there. You know, it's been so fun to watch floor evolve, and I think we can take a lot of the fun from the NCAA teams. Here's that first play. Watch this straddle jump. Beautiful. She's in a full straddle split, which is flexibility. Here's that punch front, forward roll cartwheel. And again, this last tumbling pass. Round of 2 back handsprings, and she walks out of that second one.
Coach Meach had mentioned that Sophie, due to injuries, had taken a step back in some of her tumbling, but also mentioned that she's a great example of what form, consistency, and connections can do for your score. And I think that's perfectly said.
Well, and the points that she's getting for those jumps, leaps, and turns by connecting them, adding the full twist to each one of them, just really, really a nice routine.
Katie Strand is up next.
This is some fun music. Round up back handspring back flip. You see there, she does full twisting wolf, 1.5 tuck jump. Cutting into the corner for that second pass. Front handspring forward roll right into that cartwheel. She might not have the difficulty in the tumbling, but she has added to her score by adding those full twist, 1.5 twist to those leaps and jumps.
And as Coach Winey had talked to us earlier about, time out of the gym has taken out some of the difficulty in her routine so far, but hope to add to it as she gets 2 sections here in a few weeks.
Well, like I said, she might not have the difficulty right now in the tumbling passes, but she certainly does in the dance combinations. Like in earlier, you'll look at this first tumbling pass, and it's round off, back handspring, back flip. She's got great height on that. The second one, she's going to do a front handspring into a dive roll, into a cartwheel. And finally, that last tumbling pass, punch front into the forward roll, into that cartwheel. Really nice job for that. She's waiting for the score. They're not flipping it fast enough.
7.9 for Katie Strand. Her personal best, 8.15, so a little under that right now. And now, Izzy Webb. Personal best, an 8.1, the 8th grader. Good line, strong execution of skills, our coaches say.
She has a lot of strength in those tumbling passes. Opens up with the round up back handspring, back flip. Great height on that. Here's another gymnast that you can tell is just really enjoying herself out there. She's got a big smile. Getting ready in that corner for the second tumbling pass. Really nice high punch front forward roll. On the floor, you also need to show a little change of direction where she just did there, where she's showing flexibility and then fulfilling that requirement. Right there, an aerial cartwheel. Getting into the corner for that third tumbling pass. Round up back handspring, back flip. Again, great height on that final tumbling pass. Really cute routine. I just love the smile. I think anytime a gymnast is out there and they're smiling during the whole thing, they're having a blast, and that's what you want to see in a floor routine. You want to see their personality shine through, as well as, you know, the ever important 3 tumbling passes. First one, round up back handspring, back flip, great height. Beautiful punch front dive roll right into that cartwheel. And her last one, again, round up back handspring, back flip. becomes almost like a performance versus a floor routine, almost like a little show on Broadway, which has been a lot of fun.
Score of 7.9 for Izzy Webb. We'll see our 3rd to 8th grader for Rogers tonight, Aaron Jonason. New to the team, having a really good first season for the Royals. Completely choreographed this routine by herself.
Really nice. Full twisting wolf jump. Switch leap into twisting switch leap. Should get bonus points for that. Here comes that second tumbling pass. Nice job. She's a little over-rotated, landed a little low, but still, that's a tough pass. 2 punch fronts. Turn into a needle. Boy, that was beautiful. She just stood there and did an aerial walkover like no big deal. Round up back handspring layout for that final pass. Well, I think she did an excellent job choreographing that. It was fun. It had great dance elements in there. I think she should get a really nice score for that.
Nice job by Aaron Jonason. Let's take a look again.
This first tumbling pass is a round up back handspring layout. Really nice body position, great form. The second one, you'll see the first punch front, super high. Second one was just a little bit lower, and she landed a little short on that, but this last pass too, again, another really nice round up back handspring layout.
Anna Sharper will be up next. We'll hold on here for the score for Aaron Jonason. And it'll be at 8.05 for Aaron. Anna Sharper, their only twister tonight, so to speak, for the Royals. Fun fact about her, she has 2 floor routines, and Coach said it's always surprised which one she's going to use.
Oh my goodness! That's a first for us in 20 some odd years that someone has 2 floor routines. Beautiful round up full twist on that. Hard enough to choreograph 1. Switch leap, full twisting wolf chop, nice combination. Taking a little bit of a breather here, slowing things down a tiny bit before the second tumbling pass. Really nice handspring front into dive roll. I love that she does a full twisting straddle jump one way and a full twisting wolf jump the other. Again, a really solid combination. Oh, that was excellent.
Anna Sharper, 5th gymnast tonight on the floor exercise. We'll take a look at part of her routine again.
Here's that round off full twist. Nice job, good landing. Front handspring punch front into that dive roll. She had great height on that. Here we're going punch front, forward roll, cartwheel. You have some gymnasts that prefer to tumble frontwards because I was more of a front tumbler. maybe it was easier, I don't know. So it's very rare that you have a gymnast do 2 forward tumbling passes, and she did them really nice. But opening up with the full twist is also, looks like we're gonna have a judging conference. What I was gonna say earlier was the fact that with the NCAA gymnastics, their season's a little bit shorter and stuff now too, but their floor routines are going viral, that are getting millions of views. They're ending up on the Ellen Show and those kind of things, and they've just really changed the floor routine. It is a show, it's a dance, it's a performance, and you're excited to see it. And I think these young girls have been watching these girls. I mean, we're going to come up on that Olympic year. It's going to be serious. I mean, they're cute, they're fine, but these NCAA routines are amazing. They're fun. The music is incredible. And so it's just, it's been fun to watch this. It's probably the event that hasn't changed other than the spring floor. The bars have gotten farther apart. The vaulting platform has changed. The beam, not so much, but it has a little more springy and stuff. But the floor routine has been fun to watch it go from just Florex to an actual performance. And the choreographing is so important. And for people that don't know where to find those gymnastics, you can just go gymnastics in your voice control, and CCX comes up on there.
Yeah?
Yes.
And gymnastics.
And gymnastics.
How about that?
But if you don't have the Pac-12, it's kind of icky because I always miss the Pac-12. But the SEC, which that's a whole nother world down there, the SEC people.
Hannah Sharber, an 8.35, completes the floor exercise routine for Rogers. We'll take time out. We'll come back with Champlin Park on the balance beam. More gymnastics from Champlin Park High School after this. Champlin Park finishing up their warm-ups on the balance beam. We see the floor exercise score for the Royals tonight. Rogers was hoping to hit 130 as a team tonight and hope to be in the mid-130s by the end of the season. And they're right on that pace through 3 rotations for their varsity so far. So we'll see how Champlin Park fares here on the beam. First look at balance beam tonight.
Rogers had a really nice, what they have on floor is consistency. They might not have the difficulty in the tumbling, but their dance, their choreography is beautiful, their dance is great. So they should be very happy and proud of how they did on floor tonight. And then we move over to the ever-dreaded balance beam. We have watched more meets be decided on this event, and it's that way whether you're in Olympics, whether you're NCAA, or when you're coming down to Minnesota gymnastics in the state meet.
And we'll get a look at Emma Hewsome for the first time tonight. Emma, sophomore, working back from a back strain in the first meet of the season, is getting stronger and healthier. Can go low to mid-8s in the beam and floor.
And beam is definitely one of the events where you want to put your most consistent girl up first. This sets the pace for the rest of your girls. Hang on there. Oh, darn, she just about had it. She does that cartwheel to swing her foot through and then goes into that round off. Beautiful switch leap into a 3/4 tuck jump, and just couldn't quite hold on to that. It's really hard to come back after you fall. Let's see if she can. Nice dismount. Redeemed herself on that with the round off back tuck dismount. You'll see here she does that round off into the back flip. Just the tiniest of tiny steps. To me, the round off on the balance beam is one of the scariest things that you can do. You're trying to land with 2 feet on a 4-inch wide piece. So it always floors me when these girls are doing round offs and round offs into dismounts.
Kara McElmary will be up next. There's a senior.
Now we're looking at the unfortunate thing when that first girl up has a fall on balance beam. It is important that the other 4 stay on the beam.
Emma Hewsome score a 7.15.
So as a coach, you're hoping that the second girl up then can start to set the pace. Hangs on to that back roll into the cartwheel. That is a full turn. It's a requirement in every single beam routine. Beautiful switch leap combination, 3/4 wolf jump. And there's that round up back flip to a stuck landing. That was really nicely done. She did a great job. It is hard to follow a gymnast that has fallen off because it's your job now to reset. And you could have asked for a better job than that. Getting some last minute.
There you see Cheney New. We talked about her briefly early in the meet. I had a chance to talk with her before the meet. 3-time state all-around champion. As the only gymnast 2 years ago in 2019 to score a perfect 10 at any event. Did it on the vault. Then when competing for club at the Westerns in May of 2019 and out in Spokane on the vault, ironically, tore ACL, MCL, meniscus. Ended her high school career. We'll continue that discussion in a moment as we look at Jordan Smith up next here on the beam.
Jordan is just she had that beautiful bar routine in that full, and she's just again a pretty gymnast to watch.
Kara McElmary score 8.4.
Beautiful. She does a switch leap into a beat jump, into a 3/4 split jump. Back walkover, swings that foot all the way through into the round off, nice and solid. Nice round off, full twist dismount.
Very solid for Jordan Smith.
So the next 2 have done the job. I think the thing that's really interesting in these last couple beam routines, they're shorter in time, but they have all the difficulty that you need. So they are doing what they need to in, maybe 2 or 3 passes and then doing that dismount. You can't be on the beam for longer than, I believe it's 1:30, which you don't have to have.
Getting back to our discussion with Cheney, she's a student assistant coach this year, and I asked her if she's sad about not competing. She said, no, I'm past that. And I said, are other people more sad for you? She said, yes. People are like, oh, it's too bad. She's past that point. She's just looking forward to the rest of her senior year here at Champlin Park and going on to study at the University of Minnesota. She's going into kinesiology, but it's sad for those of us who loved watching her compete that her career's over. But she's got the frame of mind like, that was
Let's
great,
move
but
on.
yeah, let's move on, exactly.
Well, I can tell you there's a group of gymnasts throughout the state that is saying maybe now I have a chance to take that all-around spot. She was so strong on all 4 events. I'm sad that she's not there.
Jordan Smith scored an 8.65. Now Tashina Bioko Alase, saw her earlier tonight, scored 9.45 on the vault.
She's such a powerful gymnast, and you'll see she does standing back flip, which is at like shoulder level. I mean, doing that on the floor is tough enough, let alone on the balance beam. Does that back handspring, full twist, just over-rotated a tiny bit, had to step off to the side, but a nice routine for her. Again, they seem shorter in time, but packed full of difficulty. Watch this flip. She almost lands that standing straight up. Here's that back handspring into the full twist. Just over-rotated it a tiny bit. She is a powerful gymnast. Fun to watch.
Sometimes I think they get done with the beams like, oh, that's done, right?
You do, believe me. It's one of those events that, too, when you get into, we follow Olympic rotation here, but when you get thrown into the sections in the state meet and you draw that beam first, some people love it, get it out of the way. If it goes well, you build, your team just builds from there. Other people like to end on it, to have it the last. So if you've had a great meet on the other 3 events, you bring that to the balance beam.
Katie Johnson will be next. 8.35 for Tashina Bioko Alase.
And Katie just has pretty form, and she's fun to watch. She's super flexible. Beautiful aerial walkover immediately into that back handspring. And you want to make sure that you do not stop the movement. So that is a great connection. She'll score well for that.
Katie, coming out of the world of club gymnastics, came to the team this year from Twin City Twisters.
And you can tell she's a club gymnast just because how confident and steady she is on the balance beam. She doesn't seem to get rattled by a whole lot.
That was really good.
Wow, it was a beautiful routine. She just had a teeny tiny step on that landing. You'll see here, she that aerial walk over, her arms keep moving, and she goes right into the back handspring. You really can't do it. There was no deductions on that. Here's that back flip, or that back handspring into the full twisting back flip, and she just had that little step off to the side. Nice routine for her. They're probably very glad to have the balance beam over, and they came back strong.
Yes, 4 very good routines to close for Champlin Park, and all in the mid-8s.
And that's where, you had that first girl up. She had that fall. It was so important that the next 4 stay strong and confident. And they actually, came to they rose to the occasion to have a really wonderful team beam score. So you have 5 gymnasts on each event. They take the top 4 scores. So you have the luxury to drop a score if there is a fall. And in this case, when it's the first one up, that puts so much pressure on the other 4 to go. But they performed. Nice job.
Katie Johnson score 9.05.
Good
Top score of the night here on the beam. Take time out. Rogers will be on the balance beam. Our meet from Champlin Park High School continues after this break.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there, choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
John Jacobson, Debbie Rasmussen. It's Rogers and Champlin Park in high school gymnastics tonight. The JV girls for Champlin Park warming up on the floor, while the varsity girls for Rogers there in the background will warm up on the balance beam. We'll see them in a moment. This field house will be the site for the Section 5AA meet coming up March 18th. And for the first time, and probably only time because of the pandemic, it'll be home to the state meet on March 26th and 27th. Class A girls will compete on March 26th, Class AA on March 27th. They'll have each, of course, there's normally 8 sections represented. There will be again, but they won't be all at the same meet, so to speak. 4 teams will compete in the morning, 4 mid-afternoon, and the individuals will compete with them with their own section. And so it'll be obviously different than it has been in the past for the section meet coming up here on March 18th. 4 teams in the morning and 4 teams in the afternoon. But I think it's a great venue for both the section and the state. There's so much room here. There's enough space where you can have spectators here. Obviously not full capacity, but more than what we've had for the regular season. As we say that, we get into Rogers here on the balance beam. And their leadoff gymnast tonight is Katie Strand.
Katie started out with that twisting tuck jump and unfortunately had a fall, which is exactly how the the Champlin Park team started out. That first gymnast up had that fall too. She's really seen to pull it together. Those are some difficult. She has a pike jump into a twisting wolf jump. And a nice standing back flip with a step on the landing. But considering there was, that one fall, which I'm sure, she's not happy about, but she finished so strong. Really nice back flip dismount. Just a, larger step on that, which she wants to try to, stick that landing a little bit more and stuff. But obviously a sigh of relief that beam routine is over, and with just the one fall, she came back solid.
Usually puts a little ice on the ankle as well, as she'll watch the rest of her teammates compete.
No, you're talking about that state meet and what it takes to orchestrate that is almost like a Excel spreadsheet engineer feat to make all the working components and parts work so that they can have a state meet this year. And it's just so fun that it's going to happen.
7.3 for Katie Strand, and now Maya Gearman. So Maya earlier tonight on the vault. Personal best on the beam this year, 8.325.
She works the beam really well with those jumps and turns, adding the twisting elements to that. She looks really confident. Beautiful cartwheel and ends up swinging that foot through. Cartwheel back flip. Nice job. She's really happy about that routine. It was great. Beam is a hard event to smile on, I gotta tell you. She did a good job. Go ahead, here she does the cartwheel. Swings that foot all the way through to cartwheel, back foot. So she gets a connection, plus she throws the dismount after that too. Good job. You know, if you think about it, John, in the many years we've been here, we see more tears on the balance beam than we do on any other event. And we also see more elation on this event. When it goes well, it goes really well. When it goes bad, not so good. And Beeman is an event that you either really like or you really, really don't.
You were in the ladder camp, right?
But, you know, sadly, it was my best event. So how scary is that?
8.1 is the score
score
for Maya Gearman. And now Sophie Mankey.
Very good. So she ends up that, you know, to combine these jumps, when you're adding those twisting elements, you get a good connection as well as increasing the difficulty. So she just cartwheel, swings that foot through to the other cartwheel. Full turn, nicely. There's a really great look at that. That beam is about as wide as one of their feet. And doing lots of twisting and turning and trying to land on 2 feet. It's tough. Nice backflip dismount, just a step back on that. We talk a lot about not having the tumbling difficulty, but they're able to make up with the dance element difficulty. That was just a beautiful backflip. Lots of height on that. And again, she's so fun to watch as a 5'8" gymnast on the balance beam. She creates beautiful lines, and it's just really nice.
Erin Jonassen will be up next.
If there's ever an event you don't want to stand and wait for the judges, it's this one. Get it going. Let's get on and get it going.
Sophie score an 8.0. Erin working on competing a switch leap and a front full dismount, working on getting her front aerial right now, hoping to have that ready to show by sections here at Champlin Park next month.
I love the two. Oh gosh darn it, the back walkovers were so beautiful. She has great splits in those and good flexibility. It just, when your shoulder isn't perfectly lined up with that balance beam, you're standing next to it sooner than you think. Really nice first split jump. She was in a full split, connects that to a pike jump. Really nice switch leap, and the height on that was wonderful. Showing a flexibility and doing a aerial round off, a dismount. I can see where she could easily throw that full in there because she definitely is strong enough on that, but her switch leap was great. You see here she shows that flexibility, walks right into the aerial round off dismount. Nice job.
Yeah, I think a little disappointed, obviously, in that fall, but she talks to her coach, and, you know, she did come back strong. And as we see most of the girls do, don't let one fall turn into two, and she finished well.
And it's so hard to, when you fall off that balance beam, especially when it's a little bit earlier in the routine, and you got to get back up and you got to try to finish the rest of the team with less falls also. And she did a great job at that.
Judges working on Erin Jonassen's score now as Hannah Sharber awaits her routine. Aaron would have been up in the 8s, but the fall cost her. And a score of 7.5. Now Hannah Sharber.
You have a half a point deduction for the fall, and if there was any connection into another thing, you'll lose those points too. So she would be a solid 8.5, I think, when she hits that routine. And then adding the difficulty into the full twist dismount, she's going to have a nice score.
Hannah newly competing her wolf jump connected to her back tuck dismount. 3/4 right now, hoping to have it be a full twist by sections. Able to hang on there, almost fell.
Yep, it's nice to watch them fight for those also. Gorgeous back handspring into that cartwheel. She swings that foot through so she gets that connection. Nice wolf jump. I love when gymnasts do that. It's a beautiful full twisting wolf jump, and she lands on the side of the beam and then boom, back flip off. Good combination. Here's that back handspring. She swings that foot through. If she keeps that momentum going, she'll get that nice solid connection for that. Here's that wolf jump. Right into a backflip dismount. Oh, you know what? We didn't see. That was a stuck landing too. Good routine for her.
Canada, the last gymnast competing tonight for Rogers. We mentioned that section meet coming up here March 18th. Teams will be split. 4 teams competing in the morning. Maple Grove, Champlin Park, Osseo Fridley team, and Rogers. And then the later rotation of 4 teams, Elk River, St. Michael, Albertville, Park Center, and Spring Lake Park, St. Anthony.
And you know, we were talking to the coach earlier, and they literally put the names of the schools and they draw. And that's, you know, one of the fairest ways to do that.
We'll see here on the score here for Hannah Sharber. Will be the Royals' top scorer in this event. Hannah scoring there we go, an 8.7.
Good score for her. She seems happy with that. The team looks excited.
Hannah's personal best in 8.4. So yes, 0.3 of a point higher, and a good way for her and her teammates to finish up here on the balance beam. We'll take a timeout. We'll have the varsity for Champlin Park on the Rebels, our final rotation. After this timeout on CCX. There are scores through 7 rotations, the 8th coming up here for Champlin Park, as the Rebels will finish up here on the floor exercise. Leanna Ong, Kara McElmurray, Jordan Smith, Katie Johnson, and Tashina Biosku Alase.
We've had just a fun time watching these girls in warm-ups. They can tumble. We're in for a treat. And the one thing that's nice, when it's your home meet, you're working on the equipment that you normally work out. For these guys, they're working out over at Twin City Twisters, right. So you can't even say.
This is where they do their home meets.
Yeah.
And that's the only time they use this equipment and apparatus. You're right.
Which kind of evens the playing field when we come to sections and state for the other team too.
Leanna Ung leading things off for the Rebels. Saw Leanna earlier on the bars.
There's a nice smile for her.
And the vault.
Really nice. Round up 2 back handsprings into a back flip, and she didn't flinch on that landing on that tuck back. Punch front dive roll into the cart roll, right into the corner. This is the time when the gymnasts probably slow things down just a little bit to catch their breath so they can have that energy for that third and final tumbling pass. Round up 2 back handsprings into a walkout. Nice finishing position for her. She works so well with the music and really strong tumbling passes too.
Good job.
Comes her first one. She does round off 2 back handsprings into a back flip. I love that landing. She didn't even move. Her second one's a high punch front dive forward roll into the cart roll, almost to the very corner. And then finally, this is just pretty. Round of 2 back handsprings, great form, and she just so, elegantly walks out of that, makes it very pretty to watch. John, I think they've turned the heat off in here because it all of a sudden
It's getting colder.
Really cold. Oh.
Leanna's score an 8.2. Kara McElmurray up next.
Beautiful twisting switch leap in there. Wow, she opens up with a round off 1.5 twist into a punch front. She has that extra mat on the floor. There's no deduction for that. It just kind of helps with the landing. A little bit, saves the ankles a little bit. And another gymnast that smiles through the whole thing. It's fun to see. Round up back handspring full twist, solid landing, no steps on that. In women's gymnastics, it's not a deduction if you take that step backward, kind of like a finishing position. But we've been starting to watch from Olympians on down to the high school here where those solid stuck landings come really into play. She did a nice job. Beautiful handspring front layout. That was a lovely routine. She had all the difficulty to end that routine in the front handspring layout, but this first one was beautiful. She does a round off 1.5 twist immediately into that punch front. Her second tumbling pass, round up back handspring full twist. Again, those landings are amazing and they'll score well. Here is that handspring layout front flip. Tumbling forward is a little bit more difficult because we call that a blind landing where you can't actually see the floor. Kind of just hope it's there when you come around the top, like, yes, there we go, that's good. That routine should score very well. She's got all kinds of difficulty in there.
One judge has put up an 8.9. We'll wait for the other score.
That's
post here for Kara.
Too low. I think she should have at least got a 9. Sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful to the judges, but gosh dang it.
The other judge did give her a 9, Deb, so 8.95 for Kara. And now Jordan Smith trying to add some difficulty in her dance and leaps tonight in this routine. A few meets left for these girls before they compete at sections on March 18th.
Really nice round off 1.5 twist. Just over-rotated a bit and had to take that big step forward. That form on this handstand double pirouette is exceptional. I love the toe point, straight legs. That's really hard. Gorgeous split leap into full twisting split jump. Just like on the balance beam, you have to have a full turn in your floor also. Beautiful punch front, both of them with great height, stuck that landing. Final tumbling pass, round off full twist. Probably one of my favorite moves in gymnastics, the Shushanova, where she does that huge straddle jump to her stomach into a really solid ending pose. So we look at this first one. She does a round up into a 1.5 twist. A little bit of an over rotation, had to take that step forward. These were great. Love the height on both of the punch fronts. And then her final tumbling pass is round off full twist. Here's that Shushanova. Oops. Anyways, it's my favorite move. It's a move that when I was coaching back in the day, it was fun to teach the girls because we did it in onto the crash pad. I may have tried it a few times and some went well, some didn't.
Sheena will be up next.
This girl can tumble. Watch the height that she gets on these tumbling passes. It's pretty amazing.
Jordan Smith's score, 8.85. Now Tashina Bioku Alase. Her final event of the night has competed in beam and vault so far tonight.
Interesting choice of music here. Beautiful twisting switch leap. She gets ready in the corner for her first pass. She does a 1.5 twisting front flip, or twisting front flip into the back handspring into that straddle jump that was almost at her shoulder level. Round up back handspring, 1.5 twist. Again, great height. She showed us her power in the vault earlier today, and it's just continuing on in the floor. Adding twisting to those switch leaps, straddle jump. Final tumbling pass is a front handspring full twist. Nice routine. She is just so powerful. It makes it super fun to watch. This first tumbling pass, we call it a Rudy, but she basically does a 1.5 twisting punch front into the back handspring, into the straddle jump. That was almost over her head in height. There's the 1.5 twist on the second tumbling pass. And her last one, she was front handspring. Again, another twisting element. This needs to be in the 9s, or I might have a little tantrum up here. Very rarely do I voice my opinion so strongly every meet. But today, I really mean it. That was a beautiful routine. And she had so much difficulty in the tumbling passes.
The score's not high enough, Deb. You're going to go down there, give them what, 4 down at the judges' table?
You know
right?
what? I would.
Katie Johnson was scheduled to compete actually ahead of Tashina, and Deb is not going to have to get into trouble tonight with Brooklyn Park or Champlin Police. So a very good score, 9.425 for Tashina Bayoko-Alase. What a great score.
Beautiful score.
And a great way for Champlin Park to end. I was starting to say Katie Johnson was scheduled to compete. We saw her kind of favoring her ankle. She had it wrapped tonight as well, and so she decided to skip her routine. And so the 4 girls who compete will comprise the team score for Champlin Park on the floor exercise. There you see the wrap on the left ankle for Katie.
And you know what? It's a wise, really wise move. Here she's in the vault. You can tell she just landed really short on that first, and that hurts. I'm not gonna lie, that hurts. She didn't get enough rotation to get all the way around, and we call them like little baby springs kind of thing, and they made a good call here. Why jeopardize anything when you still have the important meets left to come? So let's take her off a floor, which can be so pounding on that ankle, and let her rest.
We'll take time out. We'll come back with our final scores and comments here from Champlin Park High School. Wrap it up from CPHS right after this. There are the final results. The Champlin Park Rebels winning tonight's meet over Rogers, 135.925 to the Royals, 127.6. Jordan Smith of Champlin Park is the all-around champion for tonight. Welcome back to Champlin Park High School. John Jacobson and Debbie Rasmussen as we get near the end of the regular season, Debbie. Each of these teams with a couple of meets yet to go, and then the section meet here on March 18th. Both of these teams will be in the same pod that'll compete here at CPHS that morning. 4 other teams will compete later in the day, but yeah, you're always trying to build toward those later meets, section meet, and then hopefully for some of these girls, state meet.
It's in listening to the Champlin Park coach and everything, and how they've had such a quick start, I guess is the best way to put that. And a lot of the teams are in the same boat. The season shorter. Now is when it's crunch time. You maybe have, 3 meets left, and you really want to get into the gym, work on those routines, work on those stuck landings. It's going to come down to just a few tenths here or there that will decide which team goes on to state. Then when we get to state, it can be that close because there's so much talent in this sport in our state right now, which I'm very proud of. Right. Very proud of. So
we've got one more regular season meet coming up here on CCX in March 12th. Park Center will go against Maple Grove. Crimson with a terrific team. Park Center won the best gymnasts in this conference and the state in Annika Lee. So we'll be excited to see those 2 teams competing here in a couple of weeks. And again, sections coming up here in this field house March 18th, and the state meet here at Champlin Park High School March 26th and 27th. That does it for our coverage tonight. Hope you've enjoyed it. For Debbie Rasmussen and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Champlin Park again, the winner tonight over Rogers.